Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Steve. I was dead wrong about Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and the Golden State Warriors. There's just no denying the fact I was dead wrong about this team. This team is hands down the second best team in the NBA. Screw the records. Just look at the roster. Look at what this team brings to the table. Just in terms of offense, their top two players are averaging 54 points together. 54 points together. And then on top of that, you have Klay Thompson, who can average 20. So that's 74. Then you have Draymond that could average like 13. So that's 87. And when you put that against the Cavaliers, which I think are the best team, 87, I mean, it doesn't, it just blows out the Cavaliers' top three players. LeBron, maybe 30 in the playoffs. Kyrie, 20. Kevin Love, 20. So that's 70. 84, that's 14 more. They just get blown out in the playoffs, right? But the thing that's the scariest about this team is no matter what, there's always going to be someone that has their shot going. Just think about it. Now, I don't think they're going to win the NBA championship. I'm just saying I was dead wrong about the Golden State Warriors. I said they won't even make it to the NBA Finals. I was wrong. But back to the point. It doesn't matter if, Kevin Durant has a slow night. Stephen Curry's there. If Stephen Curry has a slow night, Kevin Durant is there. If they both have a slow night, Klay Thompson and Draymond are there. But the thing is not all of them are going to have a slow night on the same exact day. It's not going to happen. If it did happen, the opposing team would be really freaking lucky, but it's not going to happen. And then on top of that, the chances of them even having a slow night are slim to none because Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry are some of the most consistent, efficient players in the NBA. So when you look at that, it's like, how can you beat this team? I still think their front court is going to get hurt a little bit, but at the same time, Draymond Green, he can play defense. Zaza Pachulia can play solid defense. JaVale McGee can play solid defense. Not elite defense. Draymond Green can play elite defense, but Zaza and, JaVale McGee, they can play solid defense. They probably can't compete with Tristan Thompson and Kevin Love in terms of the boards. But it's not like, they're the worst front court in the NBA like I thought they were, So, I mean, I don't know, man. The only thing that I can possibly think of in terms of, beating the Golden State Warriors, which is going to be extremely hard, and this is just off the top of my head, the only way that I would see beating them with the Cleveland Cavaliers is Cleveland is going to have to play tall. They're going to have to go tall against the Golden State Warriors. The reason for that is to try and get Stephen Curry out of the game. They're going to have to do that, so they're going to have a lineup where LeBron's going to have to be the point guard. You're going to it's going to suck, but you're going to have LeBron, Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, JR, and Amon. That's a really garbage lineup in terms of offense. Defensively, they're all right. But in terms of offense, I mean, yeah, you have LeBron and K Love, but that's the only way that I can possibly see of getting Stephen Curry out of the game. Because think about it, who is he going to guard? Yeah, he can stay on Amon Shumpert if Amon Shumpert plays off the ball. That's the only problem, though. Or the best way they can beat them that I can think of is force Stephen Curry to guard Kyrie Irving and let Kyrie toast him. The only way to do that is, again, you have to go bigger than usual. You cannot go small ball with Kevin Love at the 5. What you're going to have to do, you're going to have to keep K Love and Tristan Thompson at the same time. You're going to have Richard Jefferson, LeBron, and then you're also going to have Kyrie in, which is bad on the defensive end without J.R. Smith because Kyrie is a defensive liability, but at least that forces Kyrie and Stephen Curry to guard each other. So at least Kyrie can roast Stephen Curry. Obviously Curry will probably roast Kyrie too, but that's the only way that I can think of to get Stephen Curry out of the game. Because Kevin Durant, it doesn't matter what you do. He's not, he can guard LeBron. He's done it before, But in terms of Curry, you have to force him on Kyrie Irving. That's the only possible way I think that the Golden State Warriors can be beat, is to force, in terms of the Cavaliers beating them, is to force Curry on Kyrie. And the only way to do that is to go big. You have to play Kyrie, Richard Jefferson at the 2, LeBron, K-Love at the 4, and Double T at the 5. This way, even if Curry switches on to Richard Jefferson, put him in the post. Put Richard Jefferson in the post. Then what? Now they're going to be like, okay, he's either going to have to guard Kyrie or sit on the bench. That's just the way it's gonna have to be. You know, it sucks. But yeah, man. So that's like the only way I can think of beating the Golden State Warriors. That, or Kevin Love's gonna have to go real big in the low post. You're gonna have to give Kevin Love a lot of shots in the low post, and I'm not talking like 5. I'm talking like 10 to 12 shots in the low post. He's gonna have to bully them, force Draymond to go on Kevin Love. That's what they're gonna have to do. Because obviously Draymond and KD are going to be switching on and off for LeBron, but force him on Kevin Love and let LeBron bully Kevin Durant down low, because he always does. Let LeBron do that. And hope you got to hope that they're having a slow day on offense, because offensively this team they're pretty much not counting by 3. Well, they kind of are. It's crazy, man. But that's the only way I can really think of in terms of beating the Golden State Warriors. Let me know what's your way of beating the Golden State Warriors with the Cavaliers. That's the only thing I can think of is force Stephen Curry on Kyrie Irving, and you have to go big for that. And that's not the best option, but that's the only option that I can think of. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm going to leave a poll. Who do you think is going to win the 2017 NBA Finals, the Golden State Warriors or the Cleveland Cavaliers? Let me know. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. It's Steve. I'm out of here. Peace.